Hey guys, welcome back channel. Today I'm here with my friend once again. Introduce yourself, sir.
Karan.
And Karan, what'd you do today, brother?
Second place with Gimmick Puppet.
Okay, before we get started with these profiles, is there anything you want to say shout out wise?
Shout out to Side Alex for letting me borrow Impulses.
Hell yeah, good guy,
Impulses
man.
is the best card. It was the best card in the deck.
Hell yeah, man. Let's get to the deck profile then, brother.
Alright, so Gimmick Puppet hasn't really changed since I played it at Nats a while ago, so these ratios should be familiar. So starters are basically Little Soldiers, Rouge Doll, and Scissor Arms. Both of these two Foolish a name, and this guy changes his level to be to match the one that you send.
Okay.
And then Rouge Doll is like Exorcist or Martha for the deck, so it's really good. And then until it gets impulsed. Fiendish Knight is the new addition from Maze, and you can summon a Gimmick Puppet from your grave, or you can target a monster in your opponent's grave and summon it to their field. And this lets you turn on stuff like Thrust, Talents. There's a lot of cool things you can do with the non-engine in this deck, which is why I like coming back to it. And then these are like the bricks, I guess you could say. So Terror Baby is crazy because it prevents your opponent from responding to any Gimmick Puppet effects. Pistol you can't target. Callous Scream's a brick for the combo, but sometimes it's cool to draw because you could detach a guy from an Xyz you control. And Dreary Doll you can reborn it by banishing a Gimmick Puppet. So
Okay.
those are all the Gimmick Puppet monsters. And then for spells, Mansion, crazy field spell, also terraforming. Condolence Puppet. For the finals, I did Foolish 3. Sometimes you can Foolish way more, like against a UFL board you can Foolish like 5 if you really want. So, and then other effect, you can prevent a Gimmick Puppet Xyz from being destroyed.
Okay, pretty dope.
Foolish, again, just like Condolence Puppet. 2 Chaos Force. You need to run 2 because if you draw 1, your Fantasix cannot activate at all. And then non-engine, so 2 Thrust, because I don't know what a 3rd Thrust. 1 Talons, called by double Droplet. So actually, these two.
Okay.
Plus Little Soldiers is FTK actually. Because Droplet, you can send the trap that you search, and then during your opponent's turn, use the trap to pop, or to summon to your opponent's field and then burn them. So the non-engine is crazy in this deck, because Thrust, you can make you give your opponent something that activates mandatory, and then you get to trigger Thrust. And then traps. So Cyrus Puppet Play is the only like Gimmick Puppet related trap, and then Impulse. Impulse is broken.
Yeah.
Give your opponent something. What I should have done in the finals was I had Fiendish Knight. They Lancia, and what I should have done was Fiendish Knight the Lancia back, and then Talons rip their hand because their hand was terrible. So that was after the fact. And then that's most bad.
It's a cool mat y'all got here for the finals, dude.
What's that?
Yeah, that's a cool mat, man.
Yeah, I can actually use it when I start playing at Ignister again.
I love that.
And the last 4 cards was Fulos, Ash, and a Metaltronus. A Metaltronus I should have mentioned with just like Thrust, it's also enables 2-card FTKs, because once again I give my opponent something, I can target it, and then summon something from deck or extra. So yeah, the things this deck can do with non-engine is crazy.
Was that 40 cards?
41. I really couldn't figure out what to cut, and I wanted to keep 1 Metaltronus in.
Yeah, makes sense.
But Metaltronus does suck because, as you'll see in the extra, I'm not running very many targets.
Okay.
So, Gigantes is the only rank 4 in the extra. I did summon this against Mitsurugi to take 2 monsters my opponent controls and then use them as Xyz material. Fantasix searches rank up and gives me an extra normal summon. So, and it also recurs the rank up spell. So these ratios probably haven't changed even with the ban list. So you're also running 2 of the Fanatics. lets you burn during your opponent's turn too if they special summon something. But with the trap, I can discard it off of drop it because my opponent controls a monster that I give them.
Okay.
And then I can force them to summon a monster to their field and then pop it with Fanatic. So it's sort of an FTK, but I do have to give them the draw phase.
Makes sense.
And then 2 Giant Grinder, 1 Hunter. Hunter is good for the 1 card FTK with the field spell. And then because of the ban list, 140 and 1 C40. You're still making them. They still help you FTK for the 1 card FTK.
Yeah. Did you use all your extra deck today?
I did not summon these 2, which was surprising.
Oh yeah.
So these are for those 2 card FTKs I mentioned before. Metaltronus can summon this. Disaster can then... I can just rank up on top of it.
Yeah.
And then Disaster has like an Exodia-like effect where you just win the duel if your opponent has 2k or less.
Okay. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, I didn't get to resolve it, but I lost all of my die rolls.
Wow.
And then the links. Chimera Doll is crazy. You either foolish or add, and then if you control only Gimmick puppets, you summon 1 from hand. So it essentially is like E-Telly. And then I made SP once, like in turn 3 when I wasn't locked, but it wasn't good. It could have come up with Metaltronus, but it never came up. And that is the extra. You want to do so?
Let's do it. If you want to show it.
Sure. So, goods, Salvation, Pegasus. I never thought that he would side Lancia, and I had sided these things, and which didn't do anything.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's just more copies of the field spell, and the field spell's crazy. 2 more Metaltronus for going first. Yeah, amazing. I'm siding a non-engine for going first.
Yeah.
And then we hate back row, so yeah, I don't know where the 3rd evenly is. So
there is one though.
it exists somewhere.
Yeah.
And then Droll, you need to play this format.
Yeah, this format is needed, man.
And yeah, that's the deck.
Okay. Is there any changes or anything you make? Like I know you say you listen to like. Do you want to play 3 thrusts or?
Thrust is crazy in this deck because you can always proc it. But yeah, I would play 3 Thrust. I don't know what I would cut. Because Thrust, you can get Terraforming, get the field spell, and it turns some 2-card combos into FTK again.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of interesting things. You just have to really think about what the deck is doing.
Okay. Well, Karan, thank you, man, for showcasing your 2nd place deck profile with Gimmick Puppet, dude. This is cool. It's on the channel finally. We're in a new format. Until next time, guys, remember, comment, like, subscribe. Peace.